Hey guys, I'm Riley.
And I'm Audrey.
And welcome to the Dramatic Effect podcast, where we dive into all things film, books, Broadway, and beyond.
1 part book club, 1 part TV movie binge, and all parts drama. Tune in every Monday.
Hey.
What's up?
Not much.
What's new with you?
Oh, long week.
Long week. You were doing Serena's show. How did it go?
It was great. It was really fun. She's amazing.
She's
like
fantastic.
Runs a tight ship and like actually has the best team ever. Like, you know, when you're just like surrounded by people in the business. For people listening, we're talking about Serena Kerrigan. She did a live show. Yes. Audrey came to one of them, and I was
SFK, LFG, HBD.
LFG.
Yep.
And yeah, I was producing, and her team's like just so incredible. Like they're so on it, and it's like those moments where it makes you better at your job. And like when other people are making your job easier, it makes you look good. And so it's just like everything is a well-oiled machine. So it was like a lot of fun to just like kind of work in that environment after sort of being in a more like self-employed, being my own boss type of position for so long. It's always kind of nice to get back in those settings and just like be told what to do, but also take initiative. And like it was a good feeling.
Yeah,
so
and your
I'm
ideas
happy.
come together and just when you see them come to life, it's so much fun.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
Yeah, but Serena's show was fabulous. My favorite were the videos in between everything. Yeah. I was eating those up.
Did you see my cameo in the intro one?
Of course, you're like,
my ex is here.
my ex is here. I was like, come on, acting.
When I pop, so like the part where I pop up and I'm like, pink dildo thoughts.
That was so funny.
Laying on the floor of the nasty ass bathroom of City Winery. And I just like looked at Serena. I'm like, the things I do for you. And I just laid my ass on the ground.
Oh, I was wondering where a lot of that was filmed. That random apartment. Whose apartment was that?
Just
the murder one.
Oh, the murder one. Oh, I don't even remember. I think we rent. It's like that was like a pure space. We for the bathroom one, it was the bathroom of City Winery, and then the scene where she's like running through the hallways. We like a friend of mine in Brooklyn let us come to his apartment building, and we just like filmed, and it was like. I mean, it was a friend of a friend's. Like, it was a weird-ass apartment building. And we're like, yep, this is spooky. This'll do.
This works. So, there you go.
You know, we did that for that one. We filmed some, like, in her dad's empty apartment. The scene where the cake explodes on her face in the birthday one.
Oh, yes.
In the baker one, she, first of all, I did the cakes. I was the one who made the Serena fucking Kerrigan cake. And Michael and I tried to like make it look like icing was exploding. So we got like paint and we took sifters and we were like sifting this pink paint around like into a bucket. And we were getting like the shot from beneath.
Oh my God.
And the one thing Serena's dad had said to us before he left the apartment when we were filming, he was like, I just painted, don't get anything anywhere. And Michael and I are over here like throwing pink paint around. And we're like, God, please don't let us get paint. I was like,
and did you?
Oh no, we had tarps down everywhere.
Smart.
It's like remember that episode of SpongeBob where they had like the single dot of white paint and then suddenly the entire wall is covered in white paint?
Wait, I don't know if I remember that.
I don't remember a lot of the SpongeBob episodes, but this one sticks out. It's like he gets like the smallest little dot of white paint and the whole wall turns white all of a sudden. And then they keep trying to rub it off and everything starts turning white and they can't get the paint off. And I was like, this is going to happen with pink paint.
Yeah, literally.
Like her dad's going to come back in and it's going to be like all pink.
Yeah.
But luckily we went over it with a fine tooth comb, no paint anywhere.
There you go.
And the shot was terrible, so we couldn't even use it.
No.
All that work went into it, but that's production.
That is production. That's so true.
You know, it happens.
You try so hard, and then you look back at the footage, and you're like,
Yep.
But, you know,
it is what it is.
That's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz, baby.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
What about you? What have you been up to this week?
You know, just living the life. Lots of filming, lots of submitting. This week, I've had more feedback and edits from brands than ever before. It's like, you send a video in and you think that it's finished.
Yeah.
And then they come back with edits, and that's totally fine. Like, I'd rather it be perfect.
Yeah.
But I can't even tell you how many times I have sent these videos back and forth. And it was to the point where my iCloud storage is now full, my 2 terabytes.
I saw that.
I don't know what to do.
I've been there.
Really?
Yeah, because I like to do all my editing on my phone. Like, I'm not gonna be up in like Final Cut or Premiere to edit like a TikTok.
Not a TikTok. I will edit in Final Cut if it's YouTube, but not for TikTok.
I do all the pod editing for this show and the other podcasts I produce. We do that in Premiere, but then when I'm doing clips, I like to like cut it down and then send it to my phone. Yeah. And then I also do the captioning on my phone, so I'll have like 8 versions of the same video. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, it makes sense that my storage would run out, as I think I'm around 2 terabytes as well. Yeah. And I'm constantly deleting texts and all that stuff.
That's what I'm trying to figure out what to do. One of my friends actually texted me. She does computer science. Oh. I think she does coding and stuff. I don't know, but
she's gonna code you more storage.
She was a computer science major at Clemson, so she sent me a whole paragraph of what to do. So I need to look at that. Sorry, Kira, I haven't looked at your text. I literally have just been sending so many videos back and forth. So my texts are not exactly my first priority. Only my texts with my manager are my first priority. Yes. I literally am like texting her nonstop. I don't think I've texted another person that much in a very long time. I don't really text people on a day-to-day basis except for my manager and like Bridget, Lauren, and Kit, but that's really it. Right. But it's just been a busy week. What are you doing?
My mic was falling.
Oh my God. Sorry. I was so confused.
Sorry.
Sorry. I was so confused as to what was going on over there.
Okay, we're good.
But just been a busy week overall. I did go out last night. We went to the Spaniard. Oh my God, I need to tell this story.
Please do.
This is so funny. So I'm at the Spaniard last night, and this guy comes up to me. He goes, "Hi, I'm sure you get this really often, but you're really beautiful. What's your name?" I was like, that was a fantastic way to intro a conversation. Yeah. But I will say, he wasn't really my type. Like, he wasn't up my alley. He was also wearing like puka shells under a dress shirt. So
no.
It was quite.
No.
I was thrown off a bit.
It's giving Will from Love Island.
Literally, but it also might not have been puka shells. It was just like a beaded necklace. So I was a little confused. And I decided to stop looking at it because I didn't really want to see it. I wanted to block that from my memory and from my mind. So anyway, he says that to me and I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice of you. I'm Audrey." He's like, "Oh, Audrey, where are you from?" I'm like, "Philly." He goes, "That's a shame." I'm like,
"Excuse?"
I was like, "What?" He's like, "I'm sorry." And I was like, "Sorry for what?" And he's like, that like you're from Philly." I'm like, I don't know why that would be something that you should be sorry to me about. He's like, "Well, like you lost Super Bowl, you lost the World Series." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fully aware, but like
I don't need your sympathy."
I'm like, I don't need your sympathy. Like, I'm good.
Oh,
I don't. You don't need to be sorry. So that was like weird, but it's kind of like, flirting, joking. I get it. Yeah. But then he asked, where I live in the city. I'm telling him, and then he tells me that he lives in San Francisco, and I'm like, "Oh, interesting. Okay."
You're like, "I'm sorry."
And then he asked me where I went to school, and I'm like, "Oh, I went to Elon in North Carolina," and he was like, "Oh, cool," and I was like, "Where'd you go to school?" And he's like, "Oh, I went to Georgetown in Washington, D.C. I was like, "I know where Georgetown is." He goes, "Well, I know where Elon is." I was like, "Well, not everybody knows where Elon is. It's kind of in bumblefuck North Carolina. Yeah. Like, not everybody knows Elon."
And North Carolina, South Carolina, they can get confused.
Exactly. Like, I just always say like Elon in North Carolina, because some people, when I say Elon, they're like, "Elon Musk?" I'm like, "No." Yeah. And it's not the most well-known school, but I'm like, of course I know what Georgetown is and where Georgetown is. Right. So I was just like, whatever. So then he keeps asking me these questions. Then he goes, so me and my friend Chloe are chatting with him, and then he goes, oh, but like, where are you from? And I was like, Philly. That's the first question you asked me. And he was like, oh, right. Yeah, that sucks. I was like, yeah. Then he asked what I majored in at school, and I said musical theater. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. So like, what are you doing with that? I was like, oh, you know, like I'm trying to be on Broadway or be in TV and film. He's like, oh, cool. And then, also when we were talking about my apartment, he's like, what do you pay for rent in New York?
That's an inappropriate question.
And I was like, he's like, is it similar to San Francisco? I was like, I don't know, but I pay like, you know, this much. He goes, sorry if this is a bad question, but like, is that your money or your parents' money?
No.
Uh-huh. I go, it's my money. And he's like, what do you do? And I was like, I work for TikTok. I just said I worked for TikTok. And he was like, you work for TikTok and you pay that and like you're able to afford that in rent? I was like, mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, got it. So what did you major in? Asks me again. I go, musical theater. That's what I just said. And he goes, well, that's a pretty obscure answer. I go, excuse me? Like an obscure answer? Like, what do you mean? Like,
I don't like your tone, sir.
I was like, wait, I'm so sorry. Like, you're not listening to these answers that I'm giving you to all of your million questions.
Yeah,
like,
to your 21 questions.
Literally. And my friend Chloe is like, Chloe's like, this is like bizarre. Like, you're just like not listening to anything she's saying. Like, you're asking a million questions, but you're not listening.
Right.
And he's like, you know what? I'm done with this. This is not worth it. And walks away. And I was like, thank God. But how weird is
You're
that?
like, yeah, bye.
I was like, he just kept asking me questions, kept being disrespectful, and I was being nothing but nice.
Yeah, it sounds
it's
like
not like I was being a bitch. Like, if
I would have been a
being
bitch way before you were. It's like from the sounds of that.
Like, you know, I mean, I don't want to I don't like making people feel, you know, like
you're blowing them
belittled
off
or whatever.
Better than them.
So yeah, so you know, I was trying to be nice, but then as soon as he started to like be rude and just like saying bizarre things,
yeah,
I was just like, yeah, you're just like literally not listening to the answers I'm giving you.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we're even chatting if you're not gonna listen or remember what I'm saying to you 5 minutes after I say it. Like, it was so weird.
This is why it's
so weird.
So fucking hard to date in this city.
Yeah.
Because I just like can't stand dating apps, but also like those are the conversations you end up having when you
go out
and trying to talk to men.
That's what I said to my friends last night. I was like, I said to my best friend Chloe, I was like, in college it was so easy to like find someone to have a little fling with, flirt with, go home with.
Yeah.
That like doesn't happen.
No.
In New York, I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like when people like when some of my friends are like, oh yeah, like this guy I met last night, like went home with him. I'm like, where did you find these people?
No, literally.
Where are all the hot people?
No, literally, where are all the hot people?
Where are they?
The hot singles.
I'm like, I don't see that anywhere.
No,
I don't
literally.
find that anywhere. I don't find that opportunity anywhere.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? It's just crazy. I really don't know how people find anyone to go home with or go on a date with organically other than a dating app at this point. I really don't know. Like,
no, I don't know
maybe
either.
I will say rooftop day drinking, that's when you meet the most people.
100%. And I'm really scared I aged out of that because no one I know is doing that anymore.
Well, just come with me.
Yeah, okay. I literally need to like go to like where the young hip people are with you because no one is fucking like rooftop drinking at 3:00 on a Saturday anymore. And I'm like, you're doing what? You're working?
I am.
Okay, good.
Brass Monkey.
Oh,
I'm obsessed with Brass Monkey.
Brass Monkey.
I miss it. I haven't been since it's been cold.
Winter, yeah.
But I am so excited. I cannot wait until there is a warm Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna be like euphoric.
I'm gonna be drunk on the sun and life, and we're gonna rooftop drink.
And I will be getting so many mushrooms.
Oh my god.
So many chocolate mushrooms.
I love the mushroom journey for you. I feel like
it's
you're
my
very
favorite
into that.
journey. It's one of my favorite phases.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I love that phase. I should get some for tonight, actually.
I keep like wanting to get into that phase, but then forgetting and then being out.
Oh, I know.
And then
I know.
everyone like will have them, and I'll be like, damn.
It's tough, and they're also expensive, so it's not like you can really be like, hey, you want to
Mooching.
share? Like,
Yeah.
you have to be like, I'll Venmo you $10
Yeah, yeah.
for a square, which
and
is annoying.
I'm the person that always has like Venmo problems too. I'm like, I'll Zell you. Like everyone's like, I don't need your beat ass Zell.
I'll Zell you, even though Zell actually is better
So much
because it goes
better.
right into your account.
I am a Zell stan.
I love Zell.
I made all my friends get it because I'm like, I can't freaking deal with Venmo anymore.
But Zelle is on your bank account, so everybody has Zelle.
Yeah, but they don't have it like set up. I don't know.
I guess so. I guess you have to
Maybe.
like set it up with your email or
I
whatever.
don't know.
But
People are more enlightened to it now.
yeah, thank
But
God.
like, imagine if I was like, you got Cash App.
You got Cash App. It's so
Never tried it,
funny.
but
Maybe on our shopping journey, we'll go buy mushrooms.
wait, please.
Field trip!
Yay! This is turning into the best Friday ever. I've had a long week, Audrey. I needed this.
Me too. I am literally, even though what I really should be doing is cleaning my apartment, but
Same. Yeah.
wait, should
feel
we
you.
like talk about
I was thinking
the
that-
episode?
Yeah, we should.
We should.
I was a mess.
Yeah, so I actually just finished the episode
Me too.
like 20 minutes ago. The
We're
last
fresh
episode,
off.
20 minutes ago. I was sitting on Bridget's couch with my headphones on, trying not to cry in front of her and Clea because they were sitting next to me on the couch. They were dilly-dallying, doing their thing, and I was holding back tears.
You're like, how does it feel to be happy right now?
No, how does it feel to be happy? Even though we'll get into it. But
Yeah.
okay, let's start with episode 9.
Yeah, we should.
I wrote, I think, like one singular note, but let me look at my one
Okay,
note.
let's see.
You're better at mapping things out.
Well, okay, so my favorite thing about episode 9, it's the first and only Fleetwood Mac song of the entire show is the opening song
Yeah.
of that episode.
Mhm.
And oh shit, what's the song?
Oh yeah.
It's called Gold Dust Woman too, which I feel like is very appropriate too.
Mhm.
Wait, let's just Yes.
Yeah.
Such a good song. Okay, so the only Fleetwood Mac song of the entire series is the opener. She wakes up. Nikki's there when she wakes up, and I liked that they did this. She wakes up, she looks at him, and she knows something happened, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and she just goes right to Billy's room, and she's like, "What the hell happened?" And
It's crazy that she remembered that he was there.
I know. I thought that was interesting.
But I guess
too.
it's like in a blackout, you remember bits and pieces.
Mhm.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, and like they definitely had a moment where she like woke up and saw him.
Yeah.
So I guess she probably remembered that he was there,
Mhm.
and also she's obsessed with him. So like obviously she's gonna remember. it.
Yeah, of
It's like,
course.
you remember the one person that you're the most obsessed
Yeah,
with.
I would remember.
Yeah. So, he says that Nikki left, and she runs out. And when the band comes out, and she's kicking Nikki out, and she throws the thing, and he
good.
goes to kind of like she pushes him, and he
Yeah, and he
to-
goes to like hit
hit
her.
And the three, Warren,
they're like,
Graham,
no,
and
no,
Eddie
no, no.
step in.
So good.
Oh, I was like,
Love them.
yeah, no. And I think, just going into episode 9, I like came off of episode 7 and 8 with like such a love and obsession with the show. Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm like
100%.
fully in at this point. Like these last 2 episodes, I was like so into it.
It's so good.
So, and I was hanging on every word of every part of these 2 episodes. And like Eddie goes to comfort her at one point. She kind of like hits him off. And it's like, poor Eddie. Like he really can't like catch a break.
He can't catch a break, but I mean, we'll touch on this later when we get there, but like what Warren says to
Yes.
him later, I
Yeah.
was like, period, Warren.
Someone had to say it. And I mean, look, Warren's the best character of this
He is
whole
the
thing.
best character.
Because he's just like, I'm literally like living the dream. I can go pop $1,000 bottle of champagne, call my actress girlfriend,
Yep.
and like go home to my boat, and all I have to do is drum. Like this is fucking awesome.
he's how all of them should be.
Yeah, like they're all living their dream.
They are all living their dream, what they set out to do in that parking lot after playing that wedding.
No, literally. And it's exactly what Daisy said when she's sitting in the trailer with Billy. And I like that we got a lot more interaction of Billy and Daisy in the last two episodes, which I think we just needed to really feel like this was something worth blowing everything up for.
Exactly.
But I also like that it didn't feel like it was all Billy and Daisy's fault. Like everything needed to end. Like Eddie did not get on that tour bus at the end. Graham didn't get on that tour bus at the end. We're jumping ahead a little, but I think we needed to see more of Billy and Daisy together towards like the end.
Yeah. Because we didn't see a lot of that. The only time we really saw them like together and making that connection between each other was the writing sessions.
The album, yeah.
And other than that, you really didn't see much.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and then the beginning of the tour, it's like pure hatred.
Yeah.
So,
so then after she goes to his trailer.
Yeah, because she can't be around the drugs anymore.
She can't be around the drugs anymore. And she's like, "Can I sleep here tonight?"
Yeah.
And I was a little afraid at that moment that they were going to sleep together.
Yeah.
But then, luckily she, slept on the couch and
yeah.
But.
But she says that line that's like, I've wanted this since I was 14 years old. And he was like, same. And she's like, then why are we so unhappy? Like, we have everything we've ever wanted. Why are we so unhappy?
I mean, at the end of the day, it is the truth that, like, you're not going to get happiness from those external things.
Yeah.
And, when you reach a goal, it's similar to, like, weight loss or followers or views, everything. It's like you think like, oh, once I book this, once I get that job, I will be happy. And that's never ever the case, and it never will be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously we're saying like Warren's the best, he's how they all should be, but it's not that simple.
It's not.
And that's one of the end lines is that sometimes things in life aren't that simple.
No, they're not. Yeah,
no, they are not.
I mean, there's so many of those poignant moments.
Yeah.
And like we did get a lot of, in the last episode, there was a lot of those lines out of the book. Like I felt like it really,
thankfully.
We do also get pieces of like, so Billy calls Camilla and is like talking to her about Daisy's overdose. Like he tells her about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting, like he still does like tell her things and like is talking to his wife and I don't know.
And about Daisy.
So it's like, in a lot of ways, it's like, okay, there's nothing to hide type of vibe, but then that's like, it's not in an incriminating way. Like he's talking about her drug problem.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's like maybe not relevant to his relationship with Daisy in that way, which like if it were, he wouldn't be talking to Camilla about it.
I agree, totally. And it's tough because she's also so sweet on the phone. She's like, oh, how is she? Like, I hope she's okay. Like, that's awful. But then I'm like, does she really feel that way, or is she just putting up this facade because she wants to seem like everything's okay?
Yeah.
And I don't really know.
I think we start to see more of that, like Camilla really is trying to put on a front that like she's not nervous, but like it's clearly like, driving her a little crazy. Like she's starting to get very stressed about this relationship between Billy and Daisy. And then they go and they perform, and Daisy says to the audience, I almost died the other day. And like,
bold thing to say.
Like I wonder what the audience was thinking she almost died of. Like,
I know.
Like, I guess they could be like, oh, maybe she almost got hit by a car or something.
Probably.
Like, I wonder if they're sitting there being like, ah, shit, she almost overdosed. Damn. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe of the time.
Yeah, probably.
But then they start to get really, like, I think with her change of attitude, she was back to being more of a functional addict after.
Totally, yes.
So, she starts to get a little spring back in her step when Nikki leaves. And
and Billy's like, she's back.
Yeah.
I kind of love that.
I kind of love that. I mean, it's like, you hate to love them. Every time.
Hate to love them.
Hate to love them. And I just like that we got some of that tour like with good vibes. Like it was
definitely
so fun to watch.
Definitely. But how about Well, wait. So did we find out about Karen in episode 8 or episode
7?
Or sorry, episode
9.
9.
Can't keep track of them.
Episode 9 or episode 10? It was episode 9.
9, yeah.
So that was probably like the next thing that happened, right?
Yeah. So So next we find out that Karen and Graham, Karen's pregnant.
This made me so upset because it really is tough. And my friends and I are actually talking about this recently, where it was when we were down in Texas, and I was talking about like, it's just so crazy that abortion is illegal there. And I can't even imagine. And I know that, like, for me personally, like, I'm very much pro-choice. And if I were to get pregnant, I can't say what I would do in the situation when I'm not in it. Mm-hmm. But I think I probably would not have the child. Yeah. Also because I just don't think that I can't take care of myself. Yeah. Let alone take care of another human being. And I also, like, there's things in my life that I want to do, and I don't want to be able to, I don't want to have to put that on the back burner for 18 years of a child's life. Yeah. I don't think I can do that. Yeah. I don't think I could handle that. And that's not exactly how I planned my life to go. Mm-hmm. So I understand where Karen's coming from with that. Yeah. But then part of me is also like, but you have Graham, you have all of the band, and Camilla has a child. Yeah. And those two are married. And they're also, I guess, at this point in their later 20s, right? Yeah. I think what it is that, she even says it in the book. She doesn't really say it in the show, but, if she had been a generation later, maybe she could have had both. But, like, I think she just, like, still felt like she had to choose. And she chose a career. And it sounds like they didn't really allude to it enough, but it sounds like she went on to continue to work in the music industry. Yeah. And Graham chose a family, which, like, I wish that, like, they had given him a little bit more of both. Like, it's crazy that he moved back home to Pittsburgh. That kind of makes not a lot of sense. Yeah. Because can you imagine getting your heart broken by the person that you are absolutely obsessed with? They have an abortion of this child that you were actually really excited about. He's so cute. He's so cute. I love him. Yeah. And then you're going to move home? I would be in a deep depression. Yeah. I would be in a deep, deep depression. And I don't think that the first thing I would do is move home. I would probably try to distract myself and, find a different band or like do something else. But maybe he had to get away from all of it. And yeah. I think, so it's crazy. I feel like we'll probably have to jump around just because we have to kind of go to how to, like, get all wrapped up. But he said, like, he felt like Karen actually did him a favor because, like, if she didn't feel the same way, then he would have spent his whole life pining after her. I know. And an amazing change from the book, I thought, was that we pan to Karen and she's like, basically says, like, yeah, that's what I told him. But, like, she told him what he needed to hear. But she didn't tell the truth. Yeah. And I was like, fuck. Like, that gets me. That makes me so upset. Yeah. That makes me so upset. Yeah. Because I'm like, no. Well, the other thing that I loved, and I think now knowing that Cami Marone and Suki Waterhouse are, like, besties. Yeah. The scene where, like, she just kind of tells Camilla with, like, just a look that she's pregnant. Mm-hmm. And, like, I don't know, that, like, really hit hard too because it's like, that's just something only a woman would be able to, like, pick up on. Like, totally. You just know in that moment, like, oh shit. Yeah. And that's something that we need to figure out. And if it's an oh shit moment, then you're like, then it's, versus like a oh my God, I'm so happy moment, which is what it was for Graham. Then it's like, you should have and they kept the line, well, are you going to quit the band? That was so, I was like, thank God. Yeah. And he's like, well, no. But which actually, I think that might have been changed from the book. I think when she said that to him in the book, he just didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. But this time he was like, no, sorry. I shouldn't have said that. Like, something along those lines. Yeah, and he was like, he realized a little bit that he, like, shouldn't have said that. And it's funny, though, because if he's such a family man, part of me is like, maybe he would have, like, in the show. Like, yeah, maybe he would have, like, gone and been a stay-at-home dad. Even though at that point, though, it's like you don't even need to be a stay-at-home dad. Like, you can have, people help you.
Yeah. I mean,
But I
they're
guess-
rich rock stars. They could have
Yeah,
but like imagine like Karen like pregnant up on stage, like playing the keyboard.
Trying to play the keyboard,
Yeah, like,
pregnant.
I
I
just
did
can't.
imagine that. I was like, that would be a little difficult.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be on tour 24/7.
So true. Actually, timing wasn't bad.
Timing was not bad.
She would start showing by the end of tour.
No, literally. So.
Logistically speaking, Karen, maybe you could have made it work. But if it's not what she wanted, then it's not what she wanted. And that's what's important.
And that's why we should have a choice. But anyway, not say political podcast.
Yeah, right. But I love that while we were on tour, we still got like they just gave us good little nuggets to end on. Like, they gave us one more moment of or a couple more moments of Daisy and Billy writing together. She sings that song that says like it was always you.
Mm-hmm.
But it was wild that she looks at him and just goes, "We should be together."
That really came out of nowhere, and also was an obscure line.
You know what it made me think of is when you said Daisy doesn't have social cues. Like,
yeah,
just like,
no,
whoa.
literally, it was kind of just like, pause. What'd you say? Yeah, that was really, really weird.
Yeah.
that she said that, but how about Camilla actually seeing?
Well, so the whole time they're interacting, I mean, look, the villain of this story is Billy fucking Dunn. Like,
Yeah.
I really, like, I don't want to hate him because it's like he's a man with demons, but it's like, you suck. Like,
Yeah.
you literally, like the way he treated Eddie at the end, and it's like, yes, Eddie slept with his wife, but it's like, you're doing this shit on stage and you're
on
pissed.
stage.
He drove me crazy in these last 2 episodes. Like,
yeah.
he basically said, yeah, I know we should be together. And it's like,
he
but
said,
we
I
can't.
want that too, but she's my wife.
That made me
It's
sick
like-
to my stomach. Actually sick to my stomach.
That's the reason. And that's like what Camilla says to Daisy later.
Yeah.
She's like, when Daisy's like, oh, but like you're his wife. And she's like, are you saying that's the only reason why he's with me?
Yeah.
Which is tough because I don't know.
But I guess that's like the big difference that we kind of talked about with like the difference between the show and the book is like the show kind of did set it up so that he was kind of only with her because, I mean,
it wasn't.
I just
We didn't see the love between them except for in the beginning. And it made my heart hurt when they were showing the flashbacks.
Yeah.
That really made me upset.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, poor Camilla.
She's loved him since she was 18 years old. Like,
I would, no.
Oh, I'm getting like misty-eyed thinking about it. It's
No, I
such
know.
like it's just such a real book. Like, it's just like, I mean, not real. Like, it's not like relatable being in a rock band that's like blows up. But like,
Yeah.
just like, okay, so then Camilla sees them having that moment. And I think that was really her first, like, oh shit. Everything I was so scared of is absolutely happening.
Yeah. And what's funny, or not funny, but what's interesting.
Not funny, haha. Funny, weird.
But what's interesting is that in actuality, they only ever had something physical happen once. At that point, right?
At that point.
At that point.
At that point.
At that point. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But at that point, they actually had only one physical interaction.
And Camilla actually at that point had slept with Eddie.
Had sex with Eddie.
Yeah. I mean, she must have.
And she totally did.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause
And so-
you don't talk about a kiss that way. Like,
And apparently, somebody said in the comments that there was a scene where
yes.
she admits
yes.
it.
And I saw it.
And
I
they
saw the
deleted
clip, the outtake of the live stream that Suki Waterhouse and Cameron Marone did, and Reese Witherspoon was on set the day that she had a sex scene with Eddie. I'm kind of mad they took that out.
Yeah.
That
would have also made the like connection a little bit more. It would have made her turning him down a lot more impactful, I think.
Agreed. It's really hard to feel like, sad for Eddie or understand like the emotional implications of the whole thing when we didn't actually see it happen.
Yeah, and see what exactly happened.
Yeah.
Even though like we know.
We know. But I would have been curious to see like what she was like in that moment.
For sure.
And also just like Eddie is kind of hot.
Really? You think he's cute?
Well, he was in Poldark, and he
actually
really hot
is
in
so
Poldark.
yeah. The wig did him dirty in this.
Did him dirty.
It did him so
Did him
dirty
dirty.
because he's actually pretty hot.
Oh, I just got a pit in my stomach though when you said wig.
Wait, I totally
because are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I totally forgot to tell you.
What?
Free People, I think, sent me a guitar. I think they sent me a Daisy
No.
6 guitar.
No.
It's in my apartment. I haven't opened it yet because my apartment looks like a fucking bomb went off. So I was like, I can't open
Oh, I wish we had it here.
I know, and I'm upset. No, I just realized. Fuck. Okay, sorry.
How does it feel to live my
Dream. My dream.
the wig.
The wig did him dirty.
The wig did him dirty, but I feel like we talked about this, or at least Allie and I talked about it the entire time we were watching, was how bad Camilla's wig was in the flash forward interviews. And then you see at the end that like that was on purpose. That was crazy. Like it's because she was sick. And it's just like, it was like a full circle moment.
Yeah. Very full circle.
And you know what? She and I, you know, obviously having read the book, like we know that like, you know, she passes, and we were wondering if she would pass. And I had a feeling they weren't going to change that because she didn't look just older. She looked sickly.
Yeah, definitely.
In her interviews.
She didn't look very put together.
No. Like you could just tell that she was like weak and not feeling great. And like props to Cami Marone just on her acting performance. On her performance in this whole show. I think she did such a good job, and this is like really one of her
good job.
Big first roles.
Yeah.
And she killed it.
Yeah,
and
she did.
So back to though.
I guess so. We were at the abortion, and then after that,
I thought it was really cute when they went back to Pittsburgh. I just want to talk a little bit about
cute.
that. I think it was like just fun to like be reminded that they have a family, and they bought their mom like a nice house,
and they were like, we never went to this street when we were younger.
Yeah,
I was like, that's so cute.
And then Chuck, who went to dentist school, is like
that was so funny. One thing I have: financial security. He's like, well, you know, after taxes and splitting it up, you guys don't have a lot of money, right? And they're looking at him like,
they're like, bro,
we're gonna walk away.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want to make you feel any worse.
No.
But, and I mean, I didn't even think about it. Like, they even said at the end, like, you know, I can't believe we're still so famous after all this time. Like, you know, they put Aurora on a CD and 2 million copies sold. And it's like, so they're just like still raking in the money from that one album.
Yeah.
And like, that's just crazy to think like that music works that way.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, it's just interesting nowadays that like it's not really like you don't sell the albums or like the CDs.
I don't know how that
works. Like, because now you have streaming.
We should have a musician on and ask them.
Yeah.
But
I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued as well.
But yeah, they still make money off that.
Billy takes Eddie's guitar and goes out to play the song. And when he said to Billy, like, my grandma was there. It's like that was his one moment.
Poor guy.
That's like if someone tried to take the Mir moment away from me in Serena's
literally.
show.
And you're just like, my grandma was there.
She was there for that one big moment.
That was a shame.
Yeah.
But like, why was that Eddie's part?
I don't really know. That I wish they gave us more background on that. Like showed us that part with Eddie. I guess there's a song that Eddie and Daisy would play like
as the encore.
Not as the encore.
No, it was the encore.
Yeah, I guess it was the encore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. So I would have liked to know like why it was that big of a deal that Billy wanted to do it that time.
Yeah. So I guess it's at the end of that episode that, you know, they like have that porch kitchen moment. I don't know what room of the house that was. But
and Camilla sees.
Billy says to her, "Isn't this enough? Like, you selfish fucking bastard."
Yeah. Oh my God. When he said that to her, I was like, no, it's not enough and it'll never be enough. And this
for
is
Daisy or
up.
for your wife.
Yeah. This is
Billy
terrible.
Dunn Hate Club. Like,
Billy
actually,
Billy Dunn Hate Club, starting a Reddit called I Hate Billy Dunn.
Literally.
Reddit forum.
Actually, though.
Someone create.
Yep. And, actually.
Not you, Sam Claflin.
Yeah, no, we love Sam. But, you know, it's funny. Someone actually stitched a video of mine that I made about Silver Springs because, like, this video I made a while ago before the show even came out about the song Silver Springs, like kind of had a second wind when, you know, the clip is blowing up again and the song's blowing up again from the show and everyone's freaking out about it. And this woman stitched my video, not like about me specifically, but she was just like, I don't think young people understand like what went down with Stevie and Lindsey Buckingham. Like, he was emotionally abusive. He apparently like choked her in front of the whole band and she was like about to like pass out. He was physically abusive. And it's like people were like romanticizing their relationship because of this music.
Yeah.
But like it was a really bad toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And that's what I was really thinking about in this moment. I was like, like I think in the book I really romanticized them, and I don't think I hated Billy as much as I should have after reading the book.
Yeah,
and
definitely not.
Seeing it on TV in front of me, I was like sick to my stomach.
Yeah, because I think in the book you believe his love for Camilla and you know, it makes a lot more sense. And then also in the book there's not, you know, as much physical cheating.
Yes.
That happens. Well, it never really happens.
There's no physical cheating that we know of in the book.
Yeah, so it's tough.
So I guess we can jump ahead to episode 8 now. You know, the way they did that episode was so good.
That was the best episode in the entire series, and I do wish that every episode had that like intensity.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it couldn't have.
Right.
But it was fantastic.
It was so well done. I love that they reiterated like this is the show where everything goes to shit and it's over after this.
For
this
everyone.
For everyone. And I love that they went through every single band member and showed what it was that like ended this for them. And you know, it wasn't just Billy and Daisy. It was Eddie's
black eye.
Yeah, Eddie quit. Graham and Karen like couldn't go on working together like this anymore.
Yeah.
And Warren would have, but he did. Warren ended up the happiest. And I'm so happy for him.
Warren Slade.
And I loved that like when we saw like kind of what he ended up doing, it's like he played drums on people's tracks and they were Daisy's tracks.
Yeah,
like, he
that
like
was
went
so
on to keep working with Daisy.
Love that.
It broke my heart that, you know, when she left to go to rehab at the end, she, you know, Simone said, like, you've left family before. And she goes, I really loved this one.
I really loved this one. And that, like, touching on your point earlier where the boys, like, went to defend her after Nikki, like, almost hits her. I was like, that was, like, that family moment.
Yes.
Where, like, they were her brothers defending her. And I was just
I
like,
got chills.
No, it literally was.
Yeah, it was so cute. Billy didn't relapse in the book. Like, he didn't drink again.
No, he didn't.
But what we kept kind of conflating Daisy to was like drugs and temptation, and like she was that sort of forbidden fruit. And I do think they did a really good job in this episode with like showing the connection of the two. Like,
for sure.
I think he needed to relapse in the show for people to understand that like giving into Daisy wasn't giving in just to like the woman I love. It's like he was giving into like this broken side of him.
Yeah.
And so we see off the bat like him drinking a flask off stage, and it's like, okay, shit, he's gonna relapse in this episode. And then, you know, we get the flashbacks into the hotel, and, you know, he and Cammie have a fight.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of like what was exactly said in that. Oh, and how about Julia being in the room and she remembers? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like true. I you know, I remember when I was little, if my parents fought, like I remember some of those things, but I definitely don't remember like the things they said.
No, and I definitely don't remember like what my mom was like wearing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like, she was in a purple dress.
The purple dress and those earrings that you got her or whatever it was.
I know this is weird, but and it's no shade to like families with one child, but like there just was something kind of missing from it, that like they just had Julia. Like I feel like they should have like gone on to still have the twins and like built this bigger family.
Oh yeah, well, and especially because Camilla asked if they wanted to try for another one, so then they didn't really follow up.
They never did. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a plot hole there, I guess.
Yeah.
But maybe not.
Not a plot hole, but just like would have been kind of cute if like that had like, you know,
come to fruition. And
he also was this big family man. I mean, he still was. You're still a family with one child, but it was interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, we see them both spiraling. There's like parallels between like Billy spiraling, trying to call Camilla, and he just kind of comes to the conclusion like, oh, she's leaving me. And that's
And
when
I
he takes
didn't-
the drink.
Well, and he takes the drink, but it's like, it's almost like, I didn't love how as soon as she's leaving him, he's just like, fine, I'll go to Daisy. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, so just because she's leaving you, now it's like really saying that
easy.
Daisy's second best.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fucked up things
And
about
she's
that.
the second choice. And I don't like that at all.
No, so he shows up to the show. They've both been MIA all day. She's on drugs. He's started drinking. And he kisses her before the show. They go on to have this electric show, though.
Electric. And but also because he thinks that Camilla's not there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so why are you acting as if you and Daisy are like absolutely enthralled, in love with each other,
Yeah.
just because your wife's not there? You
Yeah.
think she's not gonna find out? You think there's not cameras there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just also like, that's too easy. Like, you fucking asshole.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to put it.
It was
And
dumb.
yeah, they
of
were in
him.
the same mic
And
the
I
whole
was
time.
thrilled that she was there. I mean, not thrilled for her, but you know, it was like it gave her that closure that she needed to finally ultimately leave.
Yeah.
So that he could, you know, figure his shit out.
And then they come off stage before the
And they like
encore.
literally almost have sex ? Like, I don't know what was going on
Yeah.
there. And then he like
Goes to
does
do
a
drugs.
line.
So it's like he gives into the temptation and he's like, let's be broken together. And she's like, I don't want to be broken. And like, that broke my heart.
Yeah. And it's almost and then he's like, after she says that, then he's like, well, I should probably go back to Camilla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Like, it was just a weird shift.
Yeah.
Like,
but
what
maybe because she, like, when she said go on stage and he like ran off stage,
yeah, what about it?
like, maybe like,
Wait, but then when he came back and talked to her after that, he was actually saying to Camilla, he was saying like, oh, she brings out, like, I forget what he was saying, but he was almost saying to Camilla like, yeah,
sees
she
the
does.
homie.
Yeah, and I don't show that to you. And because Camilla was saying like, what does she have
Yeah.
that I don't,
Yeah.
that I can't give you? And he was like, well, she sees me. And so then at that point, I'm like, was he actually going to tell Camilla that he was choosing Daisy?
no, I think it clicked. Maybe it was like more like between the lines. Like, I think it clicked to him. Like, it happened too fast. You're right. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like a little weird. I didn't really know why he was like going back to Camilla in that situation, especially when he was saying that stuff.
Yeah, I think when Daisy kind of cut him up and was like, I don't want to be broken. And like, that's kind of what I think he thought of his and Daisy's relationship was like, we're broken souls and two broken halves come together. And when she kind of like, you know, shut that down, maybe he was like, shit, maybe you're right. Like, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be giving into. And then when they were singing the song and she said, go.
Because he was just crying.
Yeah, I think she was just like, you need to go and be with like the person that's good for you.
Yeah.
So I liked the really stark parallel they showed, though. It's like, yeah, he should have ended up with Camilla. Like, they would not have been healthy together.
No. Yeah, they wouldn't have been healthy together.
Okay.
Let's chat about the ending and how they did include. So I actually kind of liked that they switched it to the video and they were able to show it to both Daisy and Billy.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Obsessed. Because in the book, it's a note, and because I guess, like, why would we read a video over just reading a note in a book? But I love that they made it a video. And I really thought it was interesting that she also showed Daisy. Before we get into that, though, I do want to just like the moment before you get the moment where Billy says, you know, what made Daisy burn made me burn.
I know.
And they shared that line, which I thought was really cool. Like, it went back and forth between the two of them. And that was like pretty much verbatim from the book. That was like chills, like took my breath away moment.
I know.
Because it was just like, yeah, it was like a really like unique, powerful love. And what I did think was
because
yeah.
I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. What I did think was interesting, though, was so we didn't get the hotel room scene with Camilla and Daisy. Instead, it was like this piano.
Yes.
It was a little more confrontational.
It was very confrontational.
And a little less like Camilla being like, you can have this too. Like, go get it. Go find it on your own.
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought it was interesting that
she, exactly. Because
Daisy
it
at the
seemed like
end.
she had a lot of animosity towards Daisy.
Yeah.
And especially when, you know, when they're having that fight in the hallway and then Daisy comes up and she's just like, I'm done here, and walks away. And then they have the moment by the piano, but then she's like, tell your dad to call Daisy Jones.
And likewise, Daisy being like, you know, still kind of said that like your mom meant a lot to me and she saw more in me than I saw in myself. And it's like, did she ever give you that impression?
Yeah, like she kind of didn't
Like
love you, especially towards the end and probably towards the last time you saw her.
Maybe it's just because like she still credits her for being like the reason that she ended up in the band in the first place.
I guess so.
So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, so the video.
And Camilla always was supportive in the beginning.
Yes.
I mean, she was always supportive, but she was especially supportive of Daisy in the beginning because she knew how good she would make the band.
Yes.
But at the end of the day,
yeah,
Daisy's was the downfall to their marriage for some time.
For some time. And it was clearly still hard for Camilla to talk about. So it was really interesting that it still happened. I thought they could have probably just put in one more scene or one more part of the conversation to like make that click a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you think about the fact that Daisy saw it too? Because it's not like, and then obviously like the end, he goes to see her. Like we didn't get that. In the book. We didn't know.
Yeah, no, we didn't. And I was really thrilled that we did. But I would have liked to, I mean, obviously they're not going to like show you what happened or give you, because who knows? Like, I don't know.
Do you think like, would you want them to get together? Daisy and Billy? Because I think like part of me is like, yes, like he had a really beautiful life with Camilla that ended up being uninterrupted by Daisy for the rest of it. It never had an impact on their relationship again.
Yeah.
But then at the end, like when they're both healed, they kind of end up together. But does that mean that like he used Camilla?
No, I don't think that means that he used Camilla, but it feels more like she was a little bit of a placeholder.
Yeah.
Until she was gone. But like you can't predict that.
No, so true. Like he wasn't gonna be like, oh, let me just stay with this one until she dies.
I think she was just the first choice.
Yeah.
So then now I'm like,
Daisy's a little bit of a second choice. But you know what? I think Daisy's first choice needed to be something that wasn't Billy either. I screamed. I don't know why I like reacted so strongly, but when they said like when she said she had a daughter, I was like, I love that.
But I go, what I screamed was, with who?
Yes, exactly.
I was like, who did you have a daughter with?
I thought was really cool is like she was like, oh, well, you know, I've had a lot of men, and I'm sure you've seen it in the news. And what was cool about that was like, Stevie Nicks definitely was like one of those women that just like dated men and it was whatever, but so was Lisa Marie Presley. Like she had a lot of husbands.
Yes.
And I thought that was kind of cool that like Riley was saying that line because it was like very like her mom or Stevie Nicks. But yeah, so that was like
very much so and very cool.
But when Camilla said, you know, they still owe me that song, I was like,
my heart hurt. My heart really hurt.
Yeah.
But also, so how do we feel about Julia making this documentary? Because at least in the book, it didn't feel as weird because we were reading it. But then seeing it and seeing Billy talk about that, like, if I was chatting with my dad about, like, this other woman that he loved, I don't think I'd be too thrilled, especially when my mom just died.
What I thought
question mark?
Yeah, question mark. What I thought was crazy, too, is at parts he kept kind of being like, well, why am I talking about this? You already know this. It's like, from when?
Yeah, I guess because Camilla probably told her, I feel like.
I guess.
But then it's like, why did you need to make this like documentary?
Yeah, maybe she felt like it was a story that needed to be told, that like not enough people know what really went down.
I guess so. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I mean.
So maybe she didn't really want to necessarily. It's more like, if she's a filmmaker, this is good for her career.
Right. She's like, you
But
know what? I'm
this
going to ride
isn't
this
good-
Nepo baby train.
Yeah. She's like, this isn't good for my mental health, but it's good for my career.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And like,
I'm going to do it. I'm going to take advantage of my resources here.
oh my God.
Literally.
So true.
No, but that's like, I kind of what you did.
Yeah. Julia Dunn.
Yeah.
Nepo baby slaying.
Yeah, you know.
But overall, beautiful last episode.
Beautiful. Fantastic. They did such a good job with it.
Yeah.
I was thrilled. I loved it. I loved it so much. And I'm really upset that it's over.
I can't believe it's over. Like,
I'm going to probably rewatch the last 2 episodes again because I watched them on my phone. So I didn't get
Right.
the full experience.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I need
Yeah.
to like sit down and really rewatch them. I think I might actually rewatch the show from the beginning. Maybe I'm going to wait a little and watch from episode 1 because I think we came so fresh off the book into the show that I was doing too much comparing. I had too many different
Totally agree.
expectations for
I
the show.
totally agree.
And we weren't like, you know, Michael and I did that first recap episode of the first, I think it was like 4 episodes or something, like the first couple episodes. And we were just kind of like, about it. But now with the way it ended, I'm like, this was amazing. They did such an incredible job. I'm so happy with it. I can't wait to watch it.
So
again and
happy
again.
with it. And it also is good for people that didn't read the book. I think that, you know, you still know the story, you still know everything that happened, and it's still pretty true to the book. Like, it's not like anything was crazy changed, you know?
Part of me is like, I wonder if someone who would read the book after the show would be like, this book sucks.
I wonder, actually.
Because you don't get as much in the book. And like that was part
No, you
of
don't.
the experience of reading the book is reading between the lines and, you know,
Yeah.
understanding.
Sometimes I don't love that, though, to be honest.
No, yeah, totally.
I like to be told.
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Put it on the wall. So,
Fill me in.
but that's why maybe people are like, wait, you don't get nearly as much as you get in the show here. So, I mean, one thing I will say, that Billy and Daisy makeout was hot.
Which one? Which one?
The one, like the last one. Before he started doing drugs, I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, they were going crazy.
They were going
at it. Okay, let's choose our favorite Billy and Daisy makeout from episode 10. That one wasn't my fave. I like
the pre-show.
The pre-show.
Yeah, that was
But didn't he kiss her another time also?
and I think it was just those 2.
Was it just those 2?
But okay, wait. Best makeout of the whole show. I'm gonna say Karen and Graham on the bus.
Oh, no, not Karen and Graham on the bus. Karen and Graham when they finally kissed for the first time.
Oh, duh. Yes.
Because also that feeling of finally kissing someone for the first time is the best feeling ever.
And they did a good job of making it a slow burn. The one thing that people pointed out on TikTok that I do agree with is she had that line in the book that was like, "You won't miss Dunn" or something.
I know.
Like, and him
that would
running
have
to
been
the
really
hotel
good.
room. Like that was a good moment. But I liked, other than that, the way they kind of had some build up to that relationship.
Totally. I mean, I was obsessed with that relationship.
Obsessed. I'm obsessed with Suki Waterhouse. I didn't know
She's
it.
fantastic.
I didn't know it.
She is absolutely amazing.
Unbelievable.
Love her. I mean, I just love watching these fantastic actresses and just feeling so inspired. I'm like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do that one day.
100p,
You know.
100p.
100p. It's going to happen. Did I tell you that I met Florence Pugh?
Oh, at the
On
premiere.
Tuesday. Or was it? No, sorry, Monday. I met Florence Pugh on Monday. So I've just been watching all of these just fantastic female actresses.
Florence?
Why am I saying female actresses? I've been watching all of these fantastic actresses just shining. You have to see A Good Person.
She's unbelievable. Like, she is like the Meryl Streep of our generation.
100,000%. Oh my God, she was so nice. And she's British. Yeah.
Yeah, she is British.
She was so cool.
Wow.
It was so cool.
Yeah, she's a baddie.
Yeah, she's
Love
a
that.
baddie. And then like I'm like right next to like Zach Braff. And I'm holy fuck.
As someone,
so cool.
I saw a really funny comment that was like, the fact that she can do press for a movie she made with her ex.
They were, he literally called her his muse.
Like they clearly have a really amicable breakup.
Totally.
But she wouldn't even stand next to Olivia Wilde in a photo. Don't worry,
so
darling.
Funny.
Like,
so funny.
Literally.
I mean, something went down
says
there.
a lot about whatever happened.
That's for sure.
In that situation.
That is for sure.
But yeah, love Florence Pugh.
So yeah, we love fantastic actresses
do.
and fantastic TV shows.
I can't
love
wait to
getting to
see-
watch them.
I can't wait to see what this cast does next. I really am excited.
Me too. I really can't wait to see what the actor that plays Graham does.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
He was so
really
good. That was like his
showed-
first role.
He showed so much emotion without saying anything, which is like really like you're talented.
Yeah,
And then I hope
really
Suki
good.
Waterhouse does more. I hope Camilla Marone does more.
She absolutely. They both will.
They both will. Well, they both were saying they want to play Evelyn Hugo.
Oh my
So
god!
I don't know which one, but maybe they'll both end up in that book because it's another Taylor Jenkins Reid.
They totally will.
So we'll
That's
see.
sick.
Well,
Maybe I'll be in it with them.
Yeah.
Period.
That's a great idea. Someone should write that down.
Someone should cast me.
Uh,
Thank you.
we should read that book so we know what part you need, so we can start campaigning.
Right. Yeah. Same with like how it ends with us. They're doing casting for young Lily.
Yeah.
And I
Would you
texted
dye your hair red?
I would do fucking
Shave her
anything.
head.
I would do anything. I would do a nude scene. I
Okay.
swear to God.
Do it.
Like I would do anything.
I back that.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
I've gotten comments. Before this, ever happened, I've gotten comments that being like, "You look like Blake Lively,"
So,
but-
wait. Oh my God, she's
because that's what
Yeah.
that's why like they're casting young Lily. Like they're being like, we need someone that looks like a younger Blake Lively. But like I'm also
I can see that.
I don't know. Now everybody on TikTok is like stitching it, being like, "Young Blake Lively, that's me." I'm like,
Yeah.
and it's girls that like haven't acted a day in their life,
Well, you're like that's.
and
annoying.
it really pisses me off.
Yeah.
It makes me really upset.
Yeah, because
I'm
you're
like,
an actress first, influencer second.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes me really upset because I'm like, just because you have a following online does not mean that you can be in a movie.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've trained for since I was 9.
Yeah, like you.
And
worked
you're
really hard.
making these. I'm like,
But you know what?
pisses me off.
I
But-
think casting directors want none of that.
I mean,
so.
no, obviously. I just think it's like, I don't know. It just
Yeah.
annoys me.
Yeah.
That's just one thing
As-
that annoys me.
As is your right to be annoyed by that.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Not a lot of things annoy me, to be
Yeah.
honest. I'm
No.
not a very negative or judgmental or hateful person, but that pisses
you're
me
really
off.
an unbothered queen, actually.
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
you don't have
appreciate
bad
that.
things to say.
No, I don't. I'm not
Not
a big. I'm
anyone.
not a big drama girl.
Love that
But
for you.
but that pissed me off.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
But anyway,
so that's the end of Daisy Jones and the Six.
Yes.
But don't worry, guys. We're not going anywhere.
we're not going anywhere.
So next week we are going to be doing our first non-Daisy Jones movie Broadway analysis
Broadway.
of
Moulin Rouge. The Moulin
Welcome to the
Rouge.
Moulin Rouge. Very exciting. You're gonna watch the movie, and we're gonna go. Hopefully, I guess we'll catch Aaron. If
We
we're
will catch
squeezing
Aaron.
in.
He leaves April like 10th or something.
That's gonna be a fun episode.
I will pay so much money to be
Yeah.
very close. So
Okay.
glad are we on the same page?
Oh,
on
we're on
that?
the same page on that.
Okay,
We
great.
need to be spit on.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, you've been doing the brand deal, so we're set.
Yeah, we're set.
She's getting my ticket, guys.
Yeah, guys. Please go interact with my ads. I'm
Go-
begging you.
Go like her ads.
Go
so we
like
can
them
go
and
play
favorite them,
premium.
okay? No, just because I when the brands when they pay for these advertisements, I want them to perform well for the brand. You know, I
Yeah.
want them to get the most out of their money.
Yeah, you get the bang for their buck.
Yeah, get the bang for their buck.
You're like, I
really
have
do.
engaging followers. I promise.
I'm like, I promise you guys. So, please go like the ads. I've been posting so
yeah.
many.
well, I'm excited for Moulin Rouge.
Me too.
right.
So, love you
Love you
guys. Thanks for listening and watching. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to Dramatic Effect.
You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Dramatic Effect Podcast. And don't forget to leave a rating and review. Love you guys.
Bye.